Good morning, everybody. Colvin Kraus here. Thank you for tuning in again. Sorry, I'm looking super casual here, but I'm on a webinar, training webinar all day, trying to up my game so that I can better serve everybody. And this property caught my attention as we're in a lunch break right now. It just came on the market yesterday. It's, as you can see here, 6141 Sumas. It's in Duncan. And what really caught my attention, A, price, and then B, I know that the vacancy rate in this area is really, really tight. And rents are, as such, doing really, really good, right? So supply and demand, it's just how things work. As we go down here, you'll see it's a 1977 home. What you don't see here is that it's going to be a vacant possession. So what that means is, like, when you take on an investment property that already has tenants, you're also inheriting their tenancy agreement, and you didn't get a chance to vet the tenants and put them in, and they're probably paying less than market rent. So one of the huge upsides to this property in particular is that you get vacant possession, you can pick your own tenants. When I run this through my spreadsheet, it's pretty interesting. Let me just pull this up here for you guys. And for those of you who aren't watching or listening to podcasts, I will do my best to verbally explain what's going on here. So I've punched in the purchase price, assuming a full price offer and acceptance of $499.9, 20% down. That's just about 100 grand. I guess you could round it up to 500, and then it'd be an even 100 grand down. Vacancy rate in the market's really, really tight. I did bump it up to 2%, even though it's actually below that, just to be on the conservative side. And you'll see all the expenses here. So your net operating income per month, based on an assumption of $3,200 a month in rent, and I'll get there in a moment how I got to that number. So your net operating income should be about $2,276. No investor left behind. That's the number before your mortgage. And actually, I see here, for those of you watching, I forgot to change the mortgage from the last property. So I'm just going to jump into the back end here. An interest rate of 2.5% is really, really high right now. So I'm going to drop that down to 2.2, which is still probably too high. Amortization period of 30 and a 5-year term. Okay, so let me pop back out. Okay, so your mortgage should be about $1,500, and that leaves you with a cash flow before tax of $760 a month. When we scroll down, you can see all these numbers for you nerds out there. I'm one of you, I love it. And you'll see that your year one ROI should be about 20.2%, but the cash flow is really what's impressive at this price point. Traditionally, like if you're inside the Victoria city limits, in order to get that amount of cash flow, you're spending a lot more money, but your appreciation is also over 5%, whereas this one I've left at 3%. So that's really where the ROI changes. So depending on your strategy, this could be a really exciting next property for you. So when it comes down to rents, what I get a lot of times from investors in this situation is like, well, like, I don't believe you. You're a realtor, you get paid a commission for selling a property. Valid point, absolutely valid. So here's how I coach clients to do it. We can write in the offer itself that you have the permission of the seller to use their MLS photos and to market the property for rent. So if we get that, awesome, really straightforward. If you don't get that, there's some ways around it. I can coach you through it on the phone, but let's assume that they give us the permission. Then we do what's called ghost ads, right? So we take the photos, we take the address, we know the layout because we have the floor plan, and then we start posting it for rent in the different areas, Facebook Marketplace, use Cowichan, Craigslist, wherever you want to go, and then you see what the response is. And if you've priced it appropriately, you're going to get a good amount of response. If you get absolutely bombarded, there's a good chance that you could increase the rent and you'll still get a favorable outcome. So another way to just quickly napkin math, right? Just check out a website like Zokin. So I can look here and I can see, here's a 1-bedroom in Duncan, doesn't look overly nice, listed for $1,150. Here's a 2-bedroom that looks shoddy at best for $1,200. Here's a basement suite, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, $1,000 a month. What do we got here? This one, it's got new appliances, but the rest of it doesn't look too fabulous. 2-bedroom, 1575. And so you can, you can just go through these properties and you can just literally just ballpark it. I mean, some of the newer ones, $2,000 a month for a 3-bed, 2-bath looks okay. 1,200 bucks a month, 2-bed, 1-bath. So that's how you do it. And that's how I came up with this $3,200 a month. So currently it's a 4-bedroom main and then a 1-bedroom suite. But if you look at the floor plan, let me just pull that up because I can. So again, for those of you on podcasts, I'm sorry, I guess you're gonna have to watch the video. But if you pull up the floor plan, you can come up with, right now we're just looking for napkin stuff, right? You do due diligence after you have the accepted offer. But to see if it's even worth going through the process of writing an offer, just really quick stuff. I can look at the floor plan and I can see, wow, like they've got this huge front room here. Okay, shared laundry, that's okay. But lots and lots of room here where I could potentially add more. So if I stack those there, I could probably carve out a space facing inward and then I'll have separate laundry. Awesome. And I've got an extra bedroom down here on the bottom floor where the suite is. I've got an extra rec room, which is just a ton of, probably wasted space, to be honest. They've got a living and dining room up here. So there's probably different ways I could maneuver this to make it a 2-bedroom suite and a 3-bedroom upper, or maybe even a 3 and 3 because of this rec room. So that's how I just, I was like, you know what, conservatively, I think 3,200 bucks a month is going to work on this as is. If I decide to make those other renovations, I can adjust the revenue portion accordingly. Something that I do put on my spreadsheets here, and I get questions about it all the time. Immediate repairs, $6,000. Boom, I just chuck that in there. And people are like, why are you doing that? I say, well, because every property, even if it's brand new, you could probably spend at least $6,000 just like tweaking it to exactly what you want, or like painting it out, because as they moved out, they dinged up all the walls, things like that. $6,000 can get chewed up pretty quick, but it can help you get it to exactly where you want to be. So I hope this was really helpful. I just wanted to give you a quick property insight here while I'm on my break. If this is a property that's of interest to you, or there's other properties around that you would like help navigating for buying, selling, or investing, I'd love to be your go-to realtor. Thanks so much. Take care, guys.